I am back. One and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P. We about to bring on a special guest, and shouts out to everybody tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, and look like we got some people on Instagram. Esteban, Sainsbury, Diego, Romo, appreciate you. Chris Lawrence, DC, Nels Outhouse, and Trixie Treasures, and TJCR, and shouts out to Little J for tuning in on YouTube as well. Appreciate you. All right, let's bring on our special guest. He has an MMA background and a boxing background, but he's now fighting in the BKFC. Recently made a debut versus David Sanchez at BKFC Fight Night, Michigan. Let's bring on the one and only Terrell TAJMAHal Johnson. How
What's
you
going on,
doing,
man? How you
man?
doing? I'm doing good. What's going on?
I'm doing good. You in
Happy to
Vegas,
be
right?
here. Right now I'm currently in Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
Yeah, I'm originally from Detroit, but I've been in Vegas for the last 22 years. But I'm in Michigan right now currently.
I'm pretty sure the weather is better up in Michigan than it is in Vegas
Much,
right now.
much better. Much better.
So let's start with like a some standard questions.
No problem.
So what first drew you into combat sports, and when did you realize fighting was something you wanted to pursue seriously?
Um, I didn't start till I was 32 years old, and it was
Okay.
once my cousins moved out to Las Vegas. Kevin Lee and Keith Lee, they moved out to Las Vegas because he was signed to the UFC, so he started training at Extreme Couture. So once they started training there, I just went to the gym with them and fell in love with fighting. You know, and it's something that I never imagined doing up until I started doing it.
What were you doing before then?
I moved out to Vegas for college. I went to the Art
Okay.
Institute. I went to the Art Institute of Culinary Arts.
Okay. So
Yeah.
chef.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm big on cooking shows. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's one of my
So
my passions.
yeah, that's definitely something you should stick with too. You know what I'm saying? Chefing
Yeah,
it up.
I for sure got a great idea of a show that incorporates both my passions with the cooking and the fighting. But we're gonna keep that on hush until it's time for it to come out. But I got a little crossover that I want to do with the cooking and the fighting.
So I noticed you competed in boxing and MMA. Which one do you feel like fit your fighting style more?
Um, Boxing, I would say boxing.
Okay.
I would say boxing, just because of all the different techniques and like the ground game, the kickboxing, and everything. As far as with MMA, for me it was learning each individual art was a little bit tougher than me than just to focus on one art. So, but
Hmm.
boxing is what I like the most.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into MMA, and I'll
Yeah,
interview a lot of BKFC guys that say the wrestling aspect was the part that they didn't like the most.
yeah. Being held down and tied down and all that, and yeah, I'm not too big on the humping.
Oh man, so every fighter has highs and lows.
Mhm.
What has been the biggest obstacle you've had to overcome so far during your career?
Um, my first fight with the BKFC.
Okay.
I took a L, and it was due to um me cutting weight the wrong way, and I was exhausted, and it totally screwed up my whole game plan going into the fight that we trained for. And I basically just gassed out in the first round trying to just get it over with because I knew I was already fatigued going into the fight. So it totally changed everything. But that was definitely a low for me. And then to have my son corner me for the very first time and for him to see
Okay.
me in defeat, that's what hurt the most.
Yeah, I was watching the fight earlier. It did feel like you gassed out.
Yes, sir. Definitely
It like
100%. 100%. I was gassed before I even got in the ring.
okay, and then
Yeah.
y'all started banging instantly and started
It-
clinching heavy,
yeah. Because that
so
was that
that
was
made
my
it
game
worse.
plan. That was my
Yeah.
game plan at that moment was to either try to get him out of there real quick, and but it didn't happen. David Sanchez, he was better than me that night and in better shape than me. That's something I definitely want to run back because I know I can easily beat that dude. You know, no disrespect to him, but I should have never
Uh,
lost to him. I should never lost to him. But you know, I didn't come in the right shape, or I didn't take my weight cut seriously, and I cut too much weight too soon, and it fatigued me.
you said you cut too much weight too soon. How much time did you have to cut the weight?
Um, well, I cut 30 pounds in a little over a week.
Is that normal?
It's something I'm used to doing actually. I'm normally used to doing the 6 day 40 45 pound weight cut, but I'm getting up there with age. I just turned 44, and
Yeah,
so it hit different this time.
yeah,
It hit different. It hit my body different. So my body isn't, you know, accepting that type of weight cut. And plus it's not healthy anyway. And that,
yeah.
for this fight camp that I'm in now, I'm doing it the right way, and I'm gonna cut weight slowly and work on my cardio and my condition. That's my main focus.
So you didn't really like going into this fight. You didn't underestimate the cardio needed in bare knuckle at all, did you?
I had, to be honest, I might have, because I didn't know or have any expectations of the cardio needed.
Yeah,
I just thought I was gonna get in there with my natural talents and knock Buddy
yeah,
out, and get it over with quick. Which again, I no excuses. He was the better man that night.
yeah.
Yeah, but I do want to run that back. I'm in a new camp now. That's the reason why I'm back in Michigan.
Uh huh.
Shout out to Esteban Mohawk Rodriguez for hooking me up with, or
Okay,
introducing me to Coach Calvin up at Deepwater. So I'm out there training with them
okay.
right now, and Coach Calvin he's amazing. He's not only a coach, he's like a spiritual brother. So I'm loving it up here, and it's gonna be a different Taj Mahal next time you guys see me in the BKFC, and we gonna make some noise.
So what made you decide to step into the world of bare knuckle fighting?
Um, it's an amazing company as far as the BKFC. The sport is really raw,
Yeah,
and is the man's game, like over boxing, MMA, anything. To go in
yeah,
there bare
yeah,
knuckles, it's just street fight in the ring with
yeah,
no
yeah,
rules. And that's the mano y mano. That's as much as you can get to a straight up fight. So
yeah,
I'm intrigued with that, and also with my age, this company also gives you a chance to not give up, no matter what your age. Anybody can get in there and do it if you have the will, the mind frame, and the heart to do it. It's never too late. So that's a shout out to anybody that is thinking about doing it or want to do it. Don't let age or anything stop you from achieving what you want to do. Look at me, I'm 44 years old, had my first fight with BKFC at 43. I didn't start fighting at all until I was 32 years old. So it's never too late.
yeah. Because I've always looked at BKFC as like kind of like the big three. You got the NBA, and then guys get out the NBA, and then they can still play and get paid in the big
Hmm.
three and extend their shelf life. Except bare knuckles, it's its own thing. It's a lot bigger than the big three, in my opinion.
I think is much bigger than the big three, but
Yeah,
that's a good comparison as far as like what athletes can go to and still build upon their name and
yeah,
build a brand. You could build a great brand through this company, and that's my plan. I
yeah.
plan to be a champion with the BKFC. I plan to be the oldest champion at some point, and it's going to happen. I just got to do shit the right way this time and get back in there. I can't wait to get back in there. There's a couple of people that I want to fight, you know. So I'm ready to make that happen. I definitely want to run it back with David Sanchez, but the person I really want to get in there with is Kevin Sims, my original opponent. I was supposed to fight,
Okay.
and
The one that missed the plane flight.
yeah, and then try to switch the story around because he was unprofessional. Try to make it seem like I didn't want to fight him. And another quick thing about that, the only reason that fight didn't happen, and I didn't want to accept it after they called me back the day of weigh-ins, because the night before they never reached back out to me, and I went ahead and stopped my weight cut and started eating because they told me the fight was completely off, and which it was from my knowledge. So I went and rehydrated, and I got the call the next morning like, "Do you still want to fight?" And I was like, "I'm like 20 pounds off from what y'all want me to," and I was like, "I'm not." I'm not mentally ready to cut that weight right now. And he took it as
Yeah,
I'm not mentally wanting to fight him, which is definitely not what it was. I was there 5 days earlier in Fort Worth. I was there for the whole thing. I got the call that the fight was cut off during the press conference.
that
I was
sucks.
out there with, Christine Ferrer was cornering me for that fight. And we was there, got the
Oh
ca- the
shit.
call to
Okay.
call together. And I was disappointed, and I
Yeah.
waited a couple of hours, and then I was like, okay, I hear them back, so I went ahead and ate. I wasn't gonna keep cutting weight for nothing. So, but like I said, he talked a lot of trash and tried to make it seem like I pulled out and stuff like that because he got to a camera first. That's all it was.
Yeah, you were saying something about being becoming the oldest champ. I know right now, I think Arlovsky's like a high 40s up there.
Yeah,
Sicario just had the belt. He's a high 40s. I've been saying for a while, this is an old man sport right now.
yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah,
old person sport because
yeah.
you only
Because of
got
the
one young champ. One young
Yeah,
champ.
because of the talent that or experience that you've brought into this company.
Yeah.
You're more experienced than somebody that's new coming to even fighting in general. Like you got the
Yeah.
knowledge and so you're more seasoned and to take that step as a champion. So, and I say it as far as being the oldest, I mean like I'm going to be the champion and hold it as long as I can. You know.
Okay.
We talking about
Okay.
48, 50 years old. I don't plan on going nowhere no time soon.
So coming from boxing to bare knuckle, what's the biggest adjustment to you?
Just the fighting without gloves and throwing your punches where you're not hurting your hands. Like the proper way to fight or throw punches in bare knuckle compared to
Okay.
just throwing them with gloves. Because throwing them with gloves, you could just you got that cushion, you got the extra support. You can easily break your hands and your wrists and everything with this, and and as far as for me, the blocking, the defense, you don't have the gloves as extra, defense and with space, so it is much less space with bare knuckles, so your defense got to really be on point with bare knuckle boxing.
Now, what about the clinching? Are you used to that?
Yes, because of the MMA background, coming up
Okay.
with Kevin, Coach Dewey Cooper, Black Cobra, striking system and all that. I'm the grappling is good, and that's why I went back to that during that fight, my last fight in Michigan, because that's what I felt I would be strong at, with being fatigued. If I tired him out, but again, it didn't work out. It didn't go as planned. But I like the clinch though. I like the being able to fight in the clinch too though.
Now, are you training personally with Esteban at all?
No, right now I'm training with Coach Calvin, but I will be in there with Esteban soon, hopefully.
Yeah, because I think that would be good. Like, cause he's like the clinch king, yo.
Yeah, yeah, and that's why I wanted to go out there and train with him because I reached out to him um, right after our fight. We actually fought on the same card in Michigan because we're both Michigan grown boys, and I liked how his style, and I wanted to pick up some of that and train with him because I actually look up to him. I know I'm older than him, but I look up to him as a fighter. I love his enthusiasm. I love the person he is, the entertainment that he brings to the company, and the way he fights. That's how he fights. If I can incorporate that to my game with my power, and it's game over. And Coach Calvin is working with me with that. And we putting together a masterpiece right now. You know, I'm going to be Coach Calvin's Picasso.
Yeah, 'cause I realize like bare knuckle feel like there's two kind of fighters, and I know it's like the fighters that want to keep the distance, and then the guys that want to clinch.
Yeah,
And I know sometimes guys be like, clinching shouldn't be a part of it. Like, because I just interviewed who was I just interviewed? Brian Atchison, and he was just saying it's bare knuckle boxing, but it's bare knuckle fighting, and that's the thing.
it's exactly.
It's not really bare knuckle boxing.
Yeah, yeah. And I want to get in there. I want to be close. I want to be physical, and I want my fights to be exciting. I want to be able to get knockouts. I don't want to actually like be a technical boxer in the BKFC. I want to be a brawler boxer. I want to be initiating the contact. I want to be initiating the pressure. And get my shots off first. because you never know what shot might get to you and that be the end, and you don't get nothing else. So I want to make sure I'm the first, and that's another thing about Mohawk. He's the first to throw. Like as soon as that the knuckle up
Yeah.
and that bell rings, it's like a fucking missile. It's a
His,
missile at you, and it
yeah.
and
He's
as a
ferocious.
yeah, he's very ferocious. And as a, I can see as a opponent to him or anybody with that style, having somebody just off rip get out you, that can kind of throw you off your game because you're like, oh, what the fuck? Okay, now I got it. Now so that's another thing that I liked about his style and what he does in the ring. So
Yeah, he beat you bloody, man. I mean,
yeah,
see what he did to Kamosi.
yeah,
I
and that
was
was a great
shocked.
fight too. That was a great fight because he did have to pull through and show um extra endurance and heart too because he was
Yeah.
challenged a little bit in that fight, but he showed me
Yeah.
something, man. He has champion mentality. He's a champion,
Yeah.
man. That's why he's the champion. But he has the mentality, and I'm proud of him. I watched that fight, and I was super happy for him, and screaming my lungs out, And he overcame a little adversity, and look where he is now. He's one of the biggest stars in the sport now.
Yeah, the energy he has is it's infectious. It's like
It's
he
unmatched
just
too. It's
so
unmatched,
much energy.
unmatched. Anything he does, anytime you see him, that's the same person, same energetic person you get. I don't care if you just walking past him. What you see is what you get.
So I seen you train. Like, I guess when you're in Vegas, you train out of Mayweather Boxing Club.
Yes, sir. I train out of Mayweather. I train out of One Kick Nicks and Extreme Couture with Dewey Cooper. This will be my second coach I've ever trained with. Um, but Dewey Cooper was my first, and that's like my big brother. He's more than a coach. That's family. Like we literally celebrate holidays. I've thrown him surprise birthday parties and stuff like that. Like we have history. That's my big brother, and
So what's the environment like training there?
is it's a normal gym environment to be honest. You would think
Okay.
just because it's the Mayweather gym that is something different or off the no, it's normal environment than any other gym, to be honest. I didn't feel anything really different other than the talent that's there. The talent is there. It's a lot of talent that comes through that gym, you know.
You see the Mayweathers a lot through there?
Yeah, 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 yes, yes. Seniors there mostly all the time, you
Okay.
know. Seniors there almost and before Roger, RIP Roger he was there every day, you know, and I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. But what's the other one name? The other brother name? Um
I don't know at
but anyway,
all.
he was the coach. He was the coach. He was one of Dewey's striking coaches, but he's
Okay.
there all the time too. So, but yeah, they're at the gym. It's a lot of big names that be there a lot.
So speaking of your coach Dewey Cooper, coach many elite fighters, what's the biggest lesson he's taught you?
Uh, Stand true to yourself, dedication, hard work. That's the key thing. Hard work, dedication. If you have that, then you get to the places that you want to be, and that's a very personal thing to have because only you can force yourself and make yourself put in the hard work and be dedicated to what you want to achieve.
I'm reading this comment. Somebody said, "Hey, you're pretty awesome and funny Asian." I don't even know what the hell they talking about Asian side chicks. What the hell's Asian side chicks got to do with anything we talk about right now? Um. All right. So walk us through a typical day during your fight camp.
um, so I wake up, get some running in, get some cardio in, then head out, go train with Coach Calvin, and I'm actually working on my weight cut with his son. His son is
Okay.
actually doing my weight my meal prep and stuff like that. So just being better on that. So but just training and having my mind right, making sure I'm just focused on the task at hand. And I don't because I'm never taking another L. I've made a vow to myself. I'm not taking that L again. Like, because I don't like the way that tastes and feel,
Yeah.
and that's a hard feeling because that was my first professional loss.
Okay.
Yeah, and it didn't sit right. It hasn't sit right. So I gotta redeem myself and be better. Like I said, I feel I have only myself to blame for my loss.
Well, I think maybe like everybody's gonna take a loss at some point, except maybe Leonardo Perdomo. But and I think it's like if you're gonna take the loss, get it out the way early.
I am happy that it did happen sooner than later
Yeah,
if it had to happen. But at the same time, it still doesn't feel right with me because I'm not a loser.
yeah.
I don't have that mentality. I'm a winner through and through. No matter what I've done in my life, right or wrong, I want to be the best.
I think
So
later though it could be worse for fighters because in this sport you could go 3-0, 4-0 and get a championship, title shot.
uh-huh.
But you could be like one fight away from that title shot, and then you take that
And then
loss,
lose
and
it and then
it's
take five
and
steps
it's
back. Take
yeah,
five steps back. Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
made you lose all your leverage, and it really fucks it up.
Yeah. And speaking of that, being able to fight for a belt within 3 or 4 or 5 fights, that's another amazing thing about this company, about the
Yeah,
BKFC. It gives you the opportunity to achieve that. You know, I can't think of any other sport that you can do that in that amount of time. If you're
yeah.
exciting, you back up what you speak and you put on a show in that ring. You can fight for a belt and be a champion. This is the first time I ever wanted to be a champion in fighting, and can actually see it. I can visualize it. I am visualizing it. I can be a champion. I will be a champion in the BKFC. As long as I keep getting these opportunities and the company has been, you know, gracious to me. I love them. From the owner, from Dave Feldman to Nate to Chris, um, to everybody that's been having my back and trying to get me out there. Because I was supposed to fight March 28th, but I pulled out because of family reasons and some stuff
Okay.
happened in my family. I don't really want to get into that right now, but so I had to pull out, and I'm just ready to get back in there. I'm ready to get back in there, and I can't wait. You know,
Well, you had 3 or 4 canceled bouts from what I've seen. You were supposed to fight.
I was supposed to fight in Fort Worth, and then I got the fight in Michigan. I fought in Michigan, then I was supposed to fight
Yeah.
in Clearwater, March 28th. Oh no, I was supposed to fight in Connecticut, March 28th, and then I got right after that I got a call from the BKFC saying that they was gonna put me on the Clearwater card, but then for some reason that fight never happened.
I mean, the ones you can't control, like you had the family issue. I get that, but the
Yeah,
other ones, I would think it gets kind of frustrating when you
yeah.
have these fights set up and then all of a sudden
It,
they're
it didn't
canceled.
don't happen, especially the first one with Kevin Sims, man. Like that
Yeah.
was a huge card. And I wanted to fight, there at Dickies Arena, and that was a number card. And for me to be able to make my
Which
debut
card
on
was
that
that?
card, that was the Fort Worth. I know Soto and Bonner,
Oh, Soto. Okay.
Soto and
Yeah.
Bonner
Yeah.
was the headliners for that. And
Yeah.
that was a huge card. And
Yeah.
to miss that opportunity and I definitely would have knocked him out. He's so trash. I cannot wait to. I hope the BKFC gives me a chance to whoop his ass because we got some history. There's some bad blood there, and bad blood that he created for being an asshole and not being a businessman and missing the flight.
Yeah. Fighters can tend to be assholes, and there's definitely some cans in BKFC. I was talking
Yeah,
about it. We do the recaps, and
he's definitely a can.
yeah.
Definitely a can. All you gotta do is go watch his fight. He fell. He had 4 phantom falls. So I want that fight
So
though. I beg for that fight. I'll pay for his flight, his hotel, his. I'll give him my purse. I'll fight him for free. That's how bad I want to fight that dude.
we're gonna make sure I manually tag this up, and we'll tag them in it.
Yeah,
Because we be trying to make some fights happen over here. We got people always coming in calling people out, so we'll
yeah,
tag it up, tag Nate in it and David
yeah,
Feldman, and hopefully
yeah. I want.
it can happen.
And in case they didn't hear the name correctly, it's Kevin Sims. That's what I want. I want Kevin Sims.
Um, so what part of your training do you enjoy the most, and what part do you dread the most?
I enjoy when training's over with. No, seriously, I enjoy just getting there, getting back in there, and focusing on the things that I can control and that I did
Mhm.
wrong previously, and learning new things. Um, getting back to Coach Calvin, he's dope, man. He know what he's doing, and I'm excited to be training with him. But yeah, he's pushing me, and he's making me want to push myself even harder. And but just getting in there and learning new stuff and seeing what him and Esteban has been working with, and learning some of that stuff, adding that to my game. I'm happy to do that. But definitely once training is over, because I'm dead tired and sore, that's the best part of training, it being over with that day.
So you say you're training camp right now. Have you been told where you when you might be fighting?
No, we just know we have some fight news coming very soon.
Okay. So to definitely be on one of these events though that they got pretty much lined up right now.
Yeah, it's gonna happen soon.
And I'm looking up I was just looking up Kevin Sims real quick.
Yeah,
Looked like he fought once against Cody Vital.
yeah, he got. Well, I
Shoot,
ain't gonna say he
second
got his
round
ass beat.
TK.
Yeah, he fell. He got knocked down like 5 times in 2 rounds.
So are you fighting light heavyweight primarily?
Yeah, I want to actually. I would like to fight anywhere. Listen, I'm taking all comers just because I want to fight. Just I want to get the rematch back with David, and then I want to fight Kevin. I'm taking all comers. I'm not scared to fight anybody. I'll fight anybody from my preferred weight of 175 to fucking two to heavyweight. I just want to fight. I don't
Oh
care what
shit.
it is. I'll fight anywhere from 175 to heavyweight. As long as I can get back in there, I'll be able to beat anybody. I don't care who it is.
175, is that middleweight?
I think that's middleweight, if I'm not mistaken. Because my first fight was at 185. That was light heavyweight.
Okay, yeah, cause so that's middleweight, which Dave Mundell, one of my favorite fighters. He's the champ over there, man. But Lorenzo Hunt, man, made him look like
Yeah, and I mean
uh
Lorenzo's a bad dude. That's
yes.
he's a bad dude. That's a bad man.
And that's the thing. I'm
So,
looking at light heavyweight, man. I mean, this is a tough. I think light heavyweight's tougher than middleweight, in my opinion.
yeah. Well, like I said, I'm taking all comers. No, respectfully. I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm not gonna duck anybody. They send me a contract. I'm signing it. I don't care. I'll sign it blind. I don't care who my opponent is. I just want to. I need back in there. I need back in there to show who I know I am. Because
yeah.
that first example of me is not me. That's not me.
So, do you usually call guys out? Like, I know you said you want to fight the guy, you want to fight Sanchez again, you want to fight Sims because that didn't go through. I mean, is there like a guy that you have your eyes really on more than anything right now?
Um, shit, whoever the champion is, because that's my ultimate goal.
Or that's Lorenzo Hunt or
I
Dave
get it, and like I
Mandel,
said,
and yeah,
respectfully, I mean, man to man, he know where I'm coming from. Whoever
yeah,
got the belt, that's who I'm coming for. That's who the call out is. There's no disrespect to anybody, but I got a goal and I got plans. So the championship is my goal. So whoever's holding that belt, I'm coming for it.
I want to see. Are you the same age as Lorenzo? Y'all about the same age
About
too.
same age, yeah, yeah.
Y- Yeah,
And
you like a year older than him. And I think he's about to be the iron weight champ because that's the thing. Like they got the iron weight thing now too.
yeah, yeah,
So
you got what is it, 205 and up, 205 to
he,
what, 220, 215,
I
something like
think
that.
so. Yeah, because they trying to separate from the heavyweights because there's a big weight gap in the
Yeah,
heavyweights.
it is. It's from the 205 and then you go all the way up to heavyweight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tremendous weight gap, man. So when you think you'll know about your fight news
I'm hoping within the next week or two.
next week or two?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, we pretty much have an idea probably what fight card you're gonna be on. I mean, you got
Hmm.
Mohegan Sun still coming up. They got a lot of fights
Hmm.
to fill on that.
Hmm.
Boston would be huge
Oh, man,
because
to fight.
that's gonna
Listen,
be at the Red Sox
listen.
arena.
I've already reached out, and Boston was definitely one of the ones I wanted to get on or want to get on,
Yeah,
So, but we'll, like I said, fight dudes coming soon. We'll see. But that
yeah.
to
Of
fight
course,
at to
Hollywood,
fight.
Florida is always big.
Listen, and I definitely want, you know, if I had to choose one though, that's the one I want. I want the Hollywood, Florida. If I had to choose, but
Because it's
personally,
always the stat card, right?
yeah, it's always a stat card, and I know the ticket sales I can bring there because I have an event myself personally that going on around that same time that I can. I have a lot of support out there in Hollywood
Yeah.
at the guitar, at the Hard Rock. So I'm hoping I can make that happen. So, um, Little Surge, if you're listening, Sergio, if you can make it happen, man, I've been reaching out to you. Make it happen for me, please. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you reaching out, man. Seem like a really good dude, man. I'm wishing you the best of luck on, whoever you have to fight. You know,
Yeah, and I
hopefully it's
appreciate
not
that. And
somebody that I'm close to, so you don't got to beat them up and
yeah, I mean,
something.
hey, if it is, if it is, it's all, it's just because of my goals. Like I said,
Yeah,
I'm other than the Kevin Salesman, I have no beef with nobody. I don't even have no
yeah.
beef with him. It's just, he got to a mic before me, and then he said some disrespectful stuff, and he fucked me out of opportunity, to get an easy knockout. he was he was the can, man,
Said he was a
and
guaranteed win, huh?
yeah, it was a guaranteed dub. So he fucked me out the opportunity. But I want to get that, because he ran his mouth. It's been very quiet since then. But at the same time, it's something I can't get over because, like I said, he got to a camera first, and he tried to make it seem like I didn't want to fight him, which everybody that was there know that wasn't the case, and that's why they gave me opportunity to come back and fight multiple times. Where has he been? They haven't given him any opportunities. For in his one of his
Yeah.
interviews, BKFC loves me, so he say. I can't tell. I've got 4 contracts, buddy.
Well, that's the thing. You can win a lot of fights, and BKC still really not trying to have you on a bunch of cards. Like,
Hmm.
no disrespect to Johnny Garbarino, man, but I wanted to see the Garbarino Mike Richmond fight the most out of that card, and it was the worst fight of the whole card.
Yeah, yeah, it
It
was.
was so boring. It was,
Yeah,
yeah,
and that's the thing. I want to be. I will be an exciting fighter. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go lay it out online, and I don't like I said I'm not gonna be the technical fighter. I'm not about to be, you know, Muhammad Ali and around the ring, foot movement, all that. No, I want to be in a pocket. I want to get you out of there. I want to have highlights. One of
yeah.
my ultimate goals, and it's going to happen. I want an ESPN highlight. Simple as that. I know I made it once I get an
Well,
ESPN
you might
highlight.
get a Fox one soon because they're on Fox coming up
Oh,
soon.
oh, listen. Any national televised highlight I
Yeah.
can get, I got that. But I love to still get that dun 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 dun. That's what I want.
And no disrespect to where you train the Mayweather Fight Club, but no fans don't want to see Floyd Mayweather and bare knuckle. They don't want to see that kind of
No,
fight.
no, no,
They
no,
want to
no.
see blood, hematomas,
Yeah, and
broken noses,
yeah,
broken
yeah, yeah.
jaws, split
Yeah, that's what
earlobes.
sells. That's what sells. And and to clear it up, I'm not training there no more. I'm out at Deepwater. I'm out in Grand
Okay.
Rapids with Coach Calvin. That's where
So
I'm
you
at.
there full time now,
That's my
permanently?
home. That's my
Okay.
home now. That's where I'm at. And I plan on being there for a very long time. We gonna become champion. You're gonna have
I'm
two
glad you found
champions
a
out.
place that you feel comfortable at.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 champions coming out of Deepwater. We already got one, and Esteban Moja Rodriguez. So Taj Mahal is coming up.
Well, before we let you go, is any shout outs you want to do? I don't know if you got any sponsors you want to shout out or family, coaches, whatever.
No, just shout out to my son. I know he's watching. Taj Jr., Terrell Jr. Shout
Okay.
out to everybody. I'm not gonna say names specific. They know who they are. Everybody has my back. That's supporting me. And shout out to my coach, my new coaches, and my old coach. Shout out to the BKFC for giving me opportunities. And I hope we could continue to have a relationship. And I'm gonna be a star for that company. Watch what I tell you. We're gonna be able to go back on this, and you can be able to rewind it, and like, yeah, this man said what he or did what he said he was gonna do. But BKFC, I will be taking over. I will be the face of it.
Well, appreciate you taking the time out. You a friend of the show now. You're more than welcome to come back on anytime you
All day.
want.
I
And
appreciate it.
we'll be recapping whenever your fight comes up. We do the recaps of all the BKC events, so we'll be recapping it whenever you have your fight.
All day. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me, man. And listen, you're so dope for responding back so quick and then having me on your show, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. I don't. Anytime people hit me up for interviews, I never decline them because to me, it makes me feel good. I feel like I'm doing something right, that I'm getting noticed when people are
Hmm.
reaching out to me, and I'm not always having to reach out to them. You know,
Hmm. Yeah, no, and you're doing an amazing job, man. So keep up the good work, and keep
appreciate
knocking
it.
out the park. And I appreciate you
And
again.
yeah, and I'll make sure I clip up a bunch of clips, and I'll be tagging you in all the clips that I post.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, enjoy your night.
Hey, you too, man.
All right, peace.
All right, bye.
Well, there you have it. Terrell TAJMAHAL Johnson. You heard him. He wants to get the David Sanchez fight back. And when I was watching it today, first round, it just, I mean, they started out throwing blows. There was a lot of clinching. It did feel like that second round he was gassed. When he came out, he was kind of keeping the distance, not a lot of clinching. And that's the thing, man. Like, people underestimate the cardio and bare knuckle, because boxing starts out slow and gets fast. Bare knuckle starts out fast and gets slow as the rounds go through. That's why you see these fights like, Tony Soto, where they put so much energy into those first few rounds of just throwing blows and clinching, that once you get to round 4 and 5, they're drained and they look like Rocky fights. It looks like Apollo Creed and Rocky just throwing blows, and they don't really got any knockout power left. It's just all drained and gone, man. And that's the thing. Like, that's why guys are trying to get it over as quick as possible, man. Shouts out to everybody's tuning in. Appreciate the comments. Aubrey, Ricky, Spanish, Mandanka, appreciate you. Um, Chrissy Campbell, appreciate you for tuning in. Uh, what else is D Crew 42? Okay, I don't know what that's about, but go to Instagram, see who tune in on Instagram. Robman88, appreciate you. Um, who else we got? Aubrey Savon, One Tough Boxer, Keith Richardson, The Officer, appreciate you. Uh, Amaya Monet, appreciate you. BKFC Rhino, appreciate you. The Berserker BKFC, appreciate you. Chosen 770, Steven Reichel, Nitro, Mujisa, appreciate you. I know I probably mispronounced that. And we had a few comments on what was this on Instagram? Where, let me see. I want to know if you sign contract with another fight organization that's out for more money. What do you do? Uh, okay. I appreciate y'all, man. There's no BKFC events coming up this week. UFC this weekend, Connor versus Holloway 2. But July 18th, 9 days away, you got BKFC Naples, Hunt versus Puglisi. And then you got BKC Fight Night Uruguay after that, Reno versus uh Kretsky, BKC Fight Night Newcastle, Garside versus Taylor, BKC Fight Night Sturgis, Atchison versus Jones. I just interviewed Brian Atchison. Go check out that interview as well. BKC Fight Night Mohegan Sun, Henry versus Trinidad. And you still got BKC 92, Boston Stewart versus Jigliotti. Somebody, I seen a comment where somebody called Harry Jigliotti Harry Hogan. I'm pretty sure you could put two and two together and figure out why they called him Harry Hogan. But yeah, that's actually, I'm definitely rooting against that guy on this card. Be honest with you, I'm not even interested in interviewing him at all. Not at all, man. I can't have a person like him on my platform, man. You know, saying shit that's just totally unacceptable. All right, see, we got new comments in. Who is this? Zoe, appreciate you for tuning in. Who else we had? CJ Petrolini, appreciate you as well. All right, so we about to wrap it up. Thank y'all for tuning in. We always go live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Clips will be clipped up and posted to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube as well. Go follow me, Paul Pickett Podcast, on all platforms. Also, be on tune for the Bare Knuckle recap show. We do that after every Bare Knuckle or every BKFC event. Usually the Saturday or Sunday after the events, we'll do the recap. And also have a new show about to launch soon with me and Wanting Habits, Adam Winters. It's going to be called the All Combat Podcast, where we won't be just covering bare knuckle. We'll also be covering, other combat sports, whether it be MMA, boxing, slap boxing, dirty boxing, game bred MMA, whatever, man. Pretty much all, combat sports. I'm definitely going to have to step up my game because I'm mainly a bare knuckle guy. Mary Fortune, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you tuning in. And I'm definitely can't wait to see what happens with this Conor and Max Holloway fight. I normally don't watch the UFC. Not really a big MMA guy because I don't like the wrestling aspect of it. But Conor is, one of the owners of BKFC, and just everything he touches is gold. He's the biggest name brand in MMA history, as far as I'm concerned. I I don't think you can name a bigger name than him. I really don't. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We're about to wrap it up. Hit y'all with that outro piece, and I'm out.